What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Modern Day Trader channel. This week, we're going to do things a bit differently. Firstly, it's only myself. As you know, Modern Day Trader is Marcy, and myself. But it's not every week where both of us will be available. This is something we kind of picked up over the couple of years of doing our meetings. And so we do give each other just one weekend off each quarter, whether that's to catch up on other work or just some downtime. But this weekend is, I guess, the first installment of what we're calling Sono Sundays. So that's the first reason why things are different. The second reason is due to a bit of a technical mishap in our post-production. I'll only be sharing the Q&A with you guys this weekend. So that means the weekly reflection, as well as the weekly analysis portion of the video won't be up. But that's just for this week. I do think, however, that there are some key takeaways from the Q&A section. And to be honest, probably the most exciting part of the video. So I hope you guys do take a lot of value away from that. I think, as always, if you guys are enjoying this content, if you do want to see more, subscribe and drop a comment. Just if there are any questions you guys have, both technical or psychological, or just life-related questions. Obviously, linking it to your trading journey. And secondly, if there's any pairs that you want us to break down on a week-to-week basis, we do go into that in the analysis portion of our videos. So I think without wasting any more time, hope you guys enjoy this weekend's topic. See you soon. Now, getting into our Q&A, and it's not going to be so much a Q&A as more of just a topic that I want to chat on. I've sort of titled it The Path You Must Walk Alone, and it's building very much on top of last week's Q&A. Touches on patience, kind of like what to expect on the journey, and how you deal with it. But I think more so what Marcy said to me after the Q&A, after we were done shooting and we were just chatting, where he was like, I asked you a question, not so much like for the viewers or for like, just trying to think like, okay, what do like other people want to hear? But like more so a question that like I was like grappling with, or like a question that like I wanted like an answer to. Like he was very selfish in that sense, and like that made sense to me. I was like, geez, like I didn't think about it that way, because like it's, as much as there'll be weeks where we answer your guys' questions, or you think, okay, what will the viewers benefit from, or you guys benefit from? Sometimes it helps to speak to something that like we want clarity on, and as much as today I won't be asking Marcy what he thinks on this, I think this particular topic is something that I've had to almost deal with and grapple with, and something, to be honest, I still kind of like grapple with from time to time. Again, titled the Path You Must Walk Alone. And I kind of want to take you guys back and just give you a bit of context. So in the introductory playlist session where we were discussing our own journeys, I sort of alluded to the fact that there was a point in time where I realized that I was strategy hopping, and I decided, look, I don't want any more of that. And I made a commitment to myself that I was just going to work with what I had, and just make it work, and, make the decision day in, day out to make this thing work and do what I had to do no matter what. But in that time, it was the beginning of the year. It was 12th of January, 2022, yes, because I'd set myself a year time frame. I literally got to the point where I think the previous December was terrible in terms of results. I'm not even sure what my trading account was at the time. I think it was maybe around like 3,000-4,000 Rand. But I was just at like an extreme low in terms of the confidence I had in my ability as a trader, and the lack of belief that I think I had at that point. And I just got fed up and I was like, you know what, I'm giving this thing a year. And if it doesn't work, then that's it. Like I'm done. I can't afford to keep year on year putting time and effort and then energy into this. And it's kind of going nowhere. I'm getting to the end of the year and it's feeling like there's just been no progress. So that was almost like the reason or the decision behind sort of saying to myself, I'm kind of done with like these course hopping and all of that, and I'm just gonna do what I have to do to make it work. And I think in that moment, yes, I set a time frame on myself, which I hadn't done in a couple of years, just I think since joining Falcon. I set a time limit to myself, but what that did at the same time was put me in a frame of mind where I almost said, look, if I'm going to be serious about this, and I firmly believe that if on the 12th of January, 2023, it was actually the 12th of January, 2023, and, you know, the goal was for that year to become profitable. So this was last year. I said a year from now, on the 12th of January, 2024, if I don't have a $200,000 funded account, I'm done, because I've expended all resources in terms of time and energy and focus into this. And I was really serious about that decision, because I told myself, look, if it's really going to get to the end of the year and I'm not there, then at least I want to say to myself that I gave it everything and I tried, and at least I can close the chapter of, you know, I think it was 5 years at the time, or 6, whatever, saying that I tried this thing for a good couple of years and I did everything I possibly could, and it just didn't work out. So it was from that point where I think I didn't do a complete 180, but I just managed to realign a lot more with what I had to do to make the progression that I needed. And I think this theme of the path you must walk alone just speaks to sort of the traits and things that I had to go through that I went through over that year, and the mindset shifts that almost defined where I am today. I haven't gotten a $200,000 funded account, but I'm still trading. And I think it's because of everything I'm about to chat about. So just getting into it, when we look at trading, we continuously say it's like a business. You treat it like a business. And I think similarly with a business, you want to focus on that business, you want to give it everything, and you want to block out as much noise as possible outside that doesn't serve that business. The only difference is trading is very much a one-man show. Not talking about, you know, building the Modern Day Trader channel. I'm not talking about a course that I'm going to release with, you know, 2 other partners or whatever. This is just me, Samkelo Mfeka, and my trading results. That is a very personal journey. There's no one to blame there. There's not the market you can blame. There's not these, you know, the institutional market players that keep manipulating price. It's stopping you out. You can't blame them. It's just you and the market. So I think in understanding that, it's very much a personal path that you walk alone, and even over time you almost have to treat it as such, because your performance metrics are, I think, different to a business where it's a lot more accurate over an extended period of time. Yes, like any business, there's a J curve where there's your initial investment, and then over time you obviously realize a return on that initial investment. But different to a business where you're selling a good or service and you can see a very immediate or direct effect of small changes you make over time, or you can see, you know, the results of sales on a day-to-day, and you see that growing. Even though you may not be making a profit at the end of the month, there are still small wins here and there over the course of a trading day, whether you're in the retail space or, you know, you have a construction company, you get a small job, or you know, whatever you started creating content. There's small wins that you can see incrementally, which is different to trading, where you may be in a position where you invest a lot of capital into a course or into an account, and you see very consistent losses more often than not for an extended period of time before you start to make any sort of decent returns. And it's very difficult, I think, to try and like understand or fathom that in the beginning. And this then touches on, you know, what we were saying last week, where you set an intention, and at the beginning it's very exciting. You're on this journey as a trader, and you see people living the trading lifestyle, and you know it's possible. You still know it's possible, but it's like, shit, what I'm getting in terms of results today isn't it. But now at the same time, you've created an expectation for yourself as to when it needs to happen and how it needs to happen, you know, and you find yourself being very modest. You say, I want to just make like $50 a day in a session, or $50 a week even. That's fine. You know, as a South African, that's close to like 1,000 Rand a week, you know, just make 4K extra a month. That's, you know, that's very modest. It's conservative. And you almost start to also then project this expectation onto your family, like, oh, I'm doing this thing, I'm trading, I'm taking it seriously. They see you working hard. You know, they also now unconsciously have this expectation of, oh, you know, Sam's doing this trading thing, and, you know, he's actually really serious about it, because they see you putting in the hours. You know, you'll be putting in the hours, but it's like, you know, month goes by and you're doing it, and, you know, okay, didn't make much. Year goes by, yeah, you ended in the negative, it's fine, you know, and occasionally you get that, oh, how's the trading going? How's it going? No, it's fine. No, it's cool. Like, it's tough, but, you know, it's just been a year getting into it. That's fine. Even normal businesses, you know, even after a year may not be profitable, but, you know, people still understand, you know, as time goes on, you know, not only for yourself, but for other people as well. It starts, I think internally, you start to get that thing of like, okay, geez, 2 years gone by, 3 years gone by. You still feel like there only comes a point, and it's always the beginning of the year, where you feel like, okay, this is going to be the year. I can feel it. There's mad progression I've made. You know, I've tweaked the plan. You know, I've grown so much. I've got a whole year, because you felt how long the previous year was, and you know how much progress you made. You know, I can feel that, you know, this year's long, and there's a lot, you know, a lot of work I can still put in, but I've put in work. And, you know, even just these modest, you know, projections of $50 or $100, you know, a day or a week, can still just change my life drastically. And you still, again, creating those expectations for yourself. And it's like, year on year, when, you know, that doesn't happen, it's not only yourself that, like, you almost feel like you're letting down, but it's also then externally, you know, your family, people close to you, where with each passing year, you get that thing. They may not say to you, you know, outright, where it's like, Jesus, this trading thing really working? Like, why are you still, you know, doing it? They may not say that, but, you know, you definitely feel it, where, you know, people may not ask about it, or, you know, you feel uncomfortable talking about it, because they'll ask about, oh, how's it going? And, you know, the truth is, like, it's kind of not going. It is, but again, because the tangible results don't show themselves until a lot later, it's difficult to still talk about, you know, because it's hard, especially when someone's not a trader, to understand that, look, the market was quiet this week. I had one trade. It was a break even, but it was a good week. You know, I got a lot of lessons out of this. So this is going to help me tweak my approach and then give me that 1% improvement going into next week. It feels like, as much as I had a break even week, I'm very positive going into the next week, because there's a lot of lessons that I got out of it. But, you know, at face value, for someone who doesn't understand it, you didn't make money. And what, you took one trade. From what you've told me in the past, you know, a trade takes like 30 minutes to an hour, maybe a day to play out. Geez, you weren't really working. Must not be going that well. And you say you've been doing it for years, but, you know, results aren't really showing. And, you know, you start to feel all of that. And I think it was a buildup of that, the expectation I placed on myself, but then also what I was feeling maybe from other people, and, you know, that lack of support, or lack of feeling like, geez, I don't know, can't communicate with people in a way that they'll understand about this frequently enough to feel like I'm being supported, type of thing, where it's like, okay, I just need this ultimatum now, and I'm going to just put it on myself. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's a combination of those pressures that almost brought me to that point. And what I almost realized in that time was, you don't need the support of other people, especially on this journey where you are literally a one-man show. Your overheads are your losses. Profits take a long time to be realized, but it's literally comes down to the work you do day in, day out. And it kind of sucks to like come to that realization, because on, you know, any venture that we undertake or anything that we pursue that is very close to our hearts, we want that consistent support of friends and family. But you put yourself in a weird position where you struggle to make them understand, you know, the journey as a trader when they're not traders. And it's actually not your job to make anyone understand, you know, the journey as a trader. So, you know, you're really better off just putting your head down and doing the work. Like, who cares if your family aren't consistently asking about how it's going? Who cares if you get weird side eyes whenever you bring it up, or whenever you reinforce or state that, you know, you're still doing it and, you know, you're confident, and, you know, you maybe don't get the best response, or you don't get the support that you were thinking about. Like, who cares? And I'm not just only speaking to me now, and not saying that's, you know, the case 100% of the time. I feel like I do have a very supportive, like support system or structure. But, you know, there's times that people don't ask, because it's like, also there's nothing really for me to tell. And it's like, stop looking for that external validation, basically. The only validation you need is internal. The only belief you need is in yourself. Because until you just put your head down and work towards it, and you don't, it's tricky because you don't put like a hard time frame on yourself, because then that creates that expectation and it may not happen in that time. But at the same time, you need something that's going to make you work towards it. Like, there is a deadline. And to be honest, I can't explain how you get that feeling out. It only came to me when I did put a hard deadline on myself, which is why I've gotten to the end of that deadline. But, you know, I still pushed on, because the progress I made between making that commitment and now was everything I needed to affirm that, nah, it's coming. It may not have happened in the time frame that I'd set myself to, but, you know, what's an extra couple of months? And it was primarily just reigniting that belief in myself, because you do have it when you start. It's just as time goes on and what you expected to happen versus reality starts to misalign, and what the feelings, and maybe even the feelings maybe you create in your own head that people project onto you around, it's not working for this man, hey, maybe you should think of something else. It's not, you know, and all the things that, you know, in this modern day and age that are dangled in front of you that you could easily pivot into and abandon the trading journey. It's all of that sort of, you get to a point where you have to ruthlessly block it out and just put your head down and go for it. That's why it's a very lonely journey. As much as you can have these accountability partners, as much as Marcy and I are building the Modern Day Trader channel, at the end of the day, we've got our own individual journeys that we're on. And as much as I can have the belief in Marcy's trading ability, if Marcy doesn't have the belief in himself, he'll never do it, and vice versa. So stop looking for that external validation. Stop setting unrealistic expectations on yourself to live this lavish, you know, idolized trader lifestyle when you're not doing everything you can or everything you should be doing on a day-to-day basis to get there. When it comes, it comes. It will come when it comes. Or you can, like, we seem to understand that there's certain things we don't have control of, there's certain things we do, but we focus more on the things that we don't have control of and neglect the things we do have control of. just because it may not be as pleasurable to go through it. Like, it's fuck to sit every Saturday morning for 3-4 hours and, just do the work. It drives me, and it's part of my passion and my purpose. But there are definitely much more fun things that I could be doing. And there's times that I don't feel like doing it. But it's the discipline and the consistency that you need to have for that to translate into solid results week on week in the market. So, yeah, to sum it up, I think it's just the expectation you've created, in your life in terms of when it should happen and how it should happen is the only thing that's going to make you give up, because there comes a time where you realize that it's not playing out the way you expected it to happen, and you cannot afford to hold on to those expectations if you want to break through to the next level of your trading journey. And yeah, if you are going through that, just push on. Stop looking left and right for support. Put your head down, dive into the charts, find your weak points, find psychologically where there's gaps, find technically where there's gaps, and just chart on. Because if you're not getting the results now that you can be getting, that people are getting when you log on IG and you see Noakes having profitable days, if you're not getting those results, it means you need to keep working. That's it. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen, because that's all on you. That's all on your shoulders. It just means keep going, keep pushing on. It's going to happen when it happens. Stop expecting support from individuals who don't understand the journey, because it will never make sense for you. And it's not your job to explain to anyone how it works, or, it's fine, trading takes long. Don't stop explaining. You're wasting time and energy. Put your head down and spine. So yeah, that speaks to me a lot. I think, because like I said, it's things you still go through. Even though you understand it, it was just nice to almost just reaffirm it. And just to reignite that flame of it's all here. It's all on these shoulders. And I have the power to decide whether to keep going or not. And as long as the modern day trader is alive and kicking, we keep going. So guys, that is the end of the first Solo Sunday episode. Thank you for tuning in, for making it this far. If there's one thing you do today, just comment below any pair that you'd like us to analyze, any question that you have that, technically or psychologically, if you're struggling with something or there's anything you want clarity on, let us know, and we're happy to break that down. And don't forget, guys, consistency is the choice you decide to make when you stop focusing on the outcome of each trade and you start doing the work day in, day out. I'll see you soon.